year under the distance learning model.
Yes, we're aware of that. And I have reviewed the emails you sent us, the one you sent this past couple of days ago.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, those are very helpful.
Good. And I think that's pretty much it right now. Just a lot of with staff coming back, of course, a lot of questions surrounding COVID and the COVID leaves right now, and just a lot of symptoms. So every day they have a symptom checker card that they essentially fill out at home, and they go through all the steps. And if they're having any symptoms, then we ask them to stay home. And then they also are required to sign in every day, just in case someone is tested positive. Then we can go back and locate who was at the same site at the same time, and notify staff accordingly.
Okay, so Angela, so will the custodians, will they continue working? Hopefully things will get better throughout the year at school, or?
Yes, they're back to work for good. Because even though we have this distant learning models, staff can still come in and pick up work from the sites, and that's for both CSEA and the teachers. So there will be staff coming and going, and so we will need the sites to be maintained and be cleaned, because staff will now be back. The other thing is we really need their presence on site. I think I talked about that last time, is, we do have some break-ins and that type of thing, and some vandalism, and we just need to maintain the grounds, and also just have that presence on site.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's good. I'm curious, how is attendance going to be? How are they going to be taking attendance?
I think they're still working that piece out.
Okay.
Yeah, they just actually, I can, if you're interested in that, in the teachers piece of it, something went out today, and I can send you that information, so that you're in the loop on that. But that piece, I believe they're still working out.
Okay, yes, I would appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so thank you, Angela, for the report. So do we have any new business?
We don't have any new business.
Okay, so then we'll move on to item 10 of our agenda, which is other business. And we'll review item 10A, working out of class. And we have an attached list, and this is for info only. So commissioners, if you please review it. So on this list, we only have one person working out of class. And so we'll move on to item 10B, eligibility list. So we have a list for child nutrition services technician, and another one for child welfare and attendance specialist. And this is for action.
All right, looks good from my end. So motion to approve the eligibility lists, A and B.
I second that
one and
motion.
two.
Right. I second that motion.
Okay, so all in favor of approving the eligibility list for child nutrition service technician and child welfare and attendance specialist?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So motion passed to approve the eligibility list. Next, we have other business B, personnel actions. And this is for information only. If you please review it. We have some people retiring.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
So Angela, under the employment rehires, are these people that had were laid off and then got rehired back?
So some of the, you're looking at the instructional paras?
I'm looking at page 2 under personnel actions, the employment rehires. There's different locations. There's paras, custodians.
Paras and custodians, a number of them.
Uh-huh.
So we did re-employ a number of staff. I know that some of these custodians were being re-reported because they weren't necessarily rehired. They, their FTE had changed. So when you see the next board meeting, you'll see that their FTE is identified.
Okay.
Oh.
For action. But yes, these are staff who were displaced and then brought back.
Okay. All right, great. So have they all been brought back?
We had 4.25 custodians who were laid off and they were not brought back. Everyone else was brought back.
Okay.
In terms of CSEA, we brought back all of the clerical, those I know off the top of my head. And I know we have some bits and pieces of some office staff, or I'm sorry, bits and pieces of other positions, but I can't, it doesn't look like I can
Okay.
minimize my screen to go and check. But yes, we have brought back quite a few number of staff.
Okay, great. Okay, and all this was for info. And following, we have the recruitment report, which is also for information. And all the positions are internal only, as you have pointed out, they would be. Are there any questions about the recruitment report?
So the district wellness lead, that's listed twice, once just as is and once with internal only. So are those two different positions?
So there are two different postings, there are two different recruitments that we're running. So we didn't have anyone apply internally, and so we posted it outside as well. So even though we're trying to post primarily inside, if we don't have any candidates or no one's qualified, then we need to post outside. And so that one was posted outside. It's just, I think it's just a difficult position to recruit for.
Yeah, I was curious, what exactly is that role?
This position is going to work in student support services. This is a position that was funded by Alameda County. And even though I think the requirement is family marriage therapist or licensed clinical social worker, it's not required that they have the license, I believe. And then the pay, I think based on the funding from the county, is probably not very attractive in terms of what this person will do. Basically, they're going to work with the health and wellness partners and just to develop a system of support across the district, primarily at, I believe, the secondary schools, with planning and creating support for these types of behavioral health support and services to students. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that stands out at me. So far we've only had one applicant, so it looks like it's just going to be one of those tough positions to fill, and I'm not sure if if it's the summary of the job or the title that folks are not familiar with, or what the turnoff exactly is.
Yeah, I think it might be the title actually, just because it was just a bit confusing as to what the role actually is. But I think it's a pretty interesting role. I'm just trying to see if I have any candidates that I can refer over.
Oh, I can send you the job description and you can.
I actually just pulled it up from Adjourn,
Oh,
so
okay.
I have it.
I was gonna say, or the posting. I know we extended the posting.
Okay.
So if you know anyone, certainly have them apply.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, do we have any other questions about the recruitment report?
No,
Okay, so now we're in item 11, communications. This is info also. So I have a question, Angela. I like the RSP paras. I mean, the kids aren't coming into school and they're all doing, you know, virtual learning.
Right.
So how are they going to work?
So
How are the paras going to work?
with the way that we ended the school year with the paras, and we don't have an MOU yet with CSEA in terms of what those working conditions will look like, but how we ended the year was everyone got real familiar with Zoom really quickly, and so as teachers got familiar with it, they could bring in their para so that the students are seeing their teacher who they're used to seeing, their para who they're used to seeing, and then they could, so long as the teacher is hosting that Zoom session and maintains that teacher of record position, they could branch off into these breakout rooms within Zoom. And so my understanding is that some paras would branch off and maybe work with a couple of students. And like I said, we haven't identified how that will work for this school year, but that is how they left the year, is that as teachers would have their Zoom meetings, paras would also join and have those meetings as well.
Okay.
no.
So I'm assuming that like for our September meeting, they should have the plan already established of how they're going to be servicing the children.
So the teachers do. The teachers have a plan. The paras are not part of that plan as of now.
Okay.
But I don't know that that will change from how they were doing it in the past.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Are there any other comments? Commissioners?
No,
I think we're good.
Then our next regular meeting will be September 3rd, 2020 at 3:30 p.m. And I'd like to adjourn this meeting at 3:48 p.m.
Does that September date work for everyone?
I think it should be fine. I can pull
Okay.
up my calendar right now and just confirm.
It's fine with me.
Okay.
fine with me.
I think
I'm
the
gonna confirm.
holiday is not actually until, is the holiday that Friday or that Monday? Maybe the Monday?
Monday, the 7th is Labor Day.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're good.
September 3rd is good for me, so we're okay.
Good. All right, if we don't have anything else, I will hopefully have more information to report back on paras and how they'll be utilized. I know that they will be used. I know that we're not looking at displacing paras at this time. We are planning on using the staff that we have to the fullest capacity that we can.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice afternoon, everyone.
Yes,
All right, you too.
everybody.
Everyone take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Angela.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Angela.